everyone, I'm Miss Melody from the Ludington Library Junior Room, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make ice ornaments. Ice ornaments are exactly what they sound like. They're ornaments that are made out of ice that you can hang outside in cold weather. And actually, one of the most important ingredients for this project is cold weather. In order for your ornaments to freeze and stay frozen so you can enjoy them, you need to have weather that is really cold, less than 32 degrees. If it's warmer than that, your ornaments are just gonna melt. Some other ingredients you're going to need are water. We're gonna be making our ice out of the water, so we're gonna start with that. And you're gonna need some containers to put your ornaments in. Now, these containers can be any shape and any size that you would like. They could be circular, square, rectangular, it doesn't really matter. I had a lot of these circular takeout containers lying around, so I've been using those. And I also have some Tupperware, and that seems to work pretty well. The containers that I'm using are plastic, but you can also use containers that are made out of that like aluminum foil material that works pretty well as well. Other than containers and water, you're gonna need some kind of string to hang your ornaments with. Now, all I had was this brown twine. If you had like colorful yarn or something like that, that would look amazing with these. And you'll need some scissors to cut your string or your twine with. One of the most important ingredients, and the last ingredient in these ornaments, is going to be what's making those ornaments unique. And we are going to be adding some things to our water to make each one look a little bit different. And all of the ingredients we're going to be adding are going to be things you can find in nature, things that happen naturally. So what you're going to want to do is go outside and go on a little nature walk and look for things that you think look interesting. Maybe they're an interesting shape or an interesting color. Things like a little rock or maybe a twisted stick or some leaves or berries. I went on a little walk, and here are some things that I found in my yard that I thought looked really cool. I have some ivy plants growing in my yard, so I found some really pretty green leaves that I would like to stick into my ornaments. I also found some different kinds of dried flowers. They're not very colorful. You're probably not going to see a lot of colorful things this time of year, but I thought they were an interesting shape. I found some smaller bright green leaves. And the thing that I was most excited about was I found these amazing red berries. I think those are going to look so bright and cool in these ornaments when they freeze. So I was really excited to find those. At my house, I also had some dried oranges that I used to make some garlands earlier this year. So I think I'm going to throw those in there as well. I think the color of the red berries and the orange go together really, really well. So after you've collected all of your supplies and gone on your nature hike to find the things to go into your ornament, you're ready to make them. You're going to pick a container that you want to use. I think I'm going to use this nice clear one so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. And you're going to pour water into it. Now, how much water you put into your container is going to decide whether your ornament freezes quickly or your ornament freezes slowly. If you only put a little bit of water in there, it's going to freeze really quickly, but it's also going to melt really quickly. If you put a ton of water in your container, it's going to freeze very slowly, or it might not freeze all the way at all. So I'm going to fill this about halfway full. I don't want it to be too thick because I'm afraid it won't freeze if I put too much water in there. I'm going to pour that in, about halfway. And then I'm going to need some string. So I'm going to cut a really nice long piece of string. I want it to be long because it's going to get frozen inside my ornament, but then I want a nice long piece so I can tie it around maybe a tree branch or wherever I decide to hang this. I'm going to use my scissors to cut a nice long piece. And I'm going to stick the end of it into my bowl here, and I want to press it down so it's inside the water, kind of floating down in there, because I want it to get frozen onto the inside. I don't want it on the outside. After I've done that, I'm going to have my string. Then I'm ready to start adding some things into my ornament from what I found outside. And you can put in whatever you'd like, whatever looks good to you or you think is interesting. You probably are not going to be able to arrange it very well inside of your container because it's water, it's all gonna kind of float around. So you just kind of think about what colors or shapes look interesting, what you think might go well together. So I think I'm gonna add some of these oranges. That's a really nice bright color. And then I would like to add some of these bright green leaves. And they're just kind of floating around in there. I can try to arrange them if I want, but I'm probably just gonna move around. Just stick it in there until it looks good to you, whatever you want it to look like. I'm gonna add some red berries. Nice colors going on here. Until it looks the way that you would like it to. Oh, I think I'm gonna maybe crush up some of these flowers, maybe like a little confetti in there. Add on there. Oh, that looks cool. Once I'm happy with the way my ornament looks, I'm gonna take my container and set it outside in a nice, safe spot. If you have an area like a porch that's covered, that's a little better just in case it snows. If snow gets on it, it like ruins the texture a little bit. But if you don't, you just set it outside and then you're gonna have to wait. This is one of those projects you have to be a little bit patient for because water doesn't freeze right away. It takes some time. So when you set it outside, you're gonna wanna wait at least overnight. Let it sit out there and wait and then check on it to see if it's frozen. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this outside and then I'm gonna pull out some for you that I made yesterday and see what they look like. So here's some that I made yesterday. They're all frozen inside their containers and I'm gonna go ahead and pop them out so I can hang them up. Now the easiest way to get your frozen ornaments out of their molds is just to run a little bit of warm water along the back of them to melt the underside just a little bit so they'll come out. I have a nice warm bowl of water right here and I'm gonna use that instead. So I'm going to just stick bottom in there and let the bottom of my ornament warm up just a little bit. Oh, yeah, there it goes. All right. Now this one did get some snow on it, so it's not quite as clear as I would like, but I can see the berries in there really well and the leaves, so I'm really happy with that one. And this one has some of those oranges in it. We'll see what that looks like. A little bit. This one was a little thicker. Oop. It looks like it didn't actually freeze all the way through. So that's kind of the danger of making an ornament that's a little bit too big, but there it is. All right, so I'm gonna go and find a spot to hang these up, probably on a tree somewhere near my house. And I hope that you're able to give this a try. If you would like to leave a picture of some ornaments you've made in the comments, we would love to see them. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you later.